right, let's talk about something we all deal with. A day that feels like it's completely running you instead of the other way around. But what if I told you that you could turn all that chaos into a rhythm that you control? And you can do it with just 4 simple science-backed tools. Let's dive in. You know this feeling, right? You wake up, you're dragging, then mid-morning, bam, you've got energy. But then you crash hard after lunch, only to feel totally wired and anxious when you're supposed to be winding down. It's this frustrating up and down cycle. But here's the thing, it's not random. It's all about one key hormone, and you can learn to conduct it like your own personal orchestra. And yeah, that hormone is cortisol. Now, I know it gets a really bad rap as the stress hormone, but that's only half the story. Really, you should think of cortisol as your body's get-up-and-go signal. It's absolutely essential for waking you up and giving you that focused energy. The problem isn't the cortisol itself. It's when its rhythm gets all out of whack. So, our goal today, learn how to master that rhythm. And it all starts the second you wake up. Our very first tool is about setting a powerful anchor for your entire day. And trust me, it's way simpler than you think. Here's exactly what you do. The protocol is so simple. Before you even think about checking your phone, before that first cup of coffee, just get yourself outside for about 10 to 15 minutes. The really important parts are do it within that first hour of waking, and this is crucial, no sunglasses. You need that light to directly hit the special receptors in your eyes. So why on earth does this work? Well, morning sunlight is basically the master switch for your brain's internal clock. It triggers this healthy, perfectly timed spike in cortisol that wakes you up and gets you focused. And here's the brilliant part. It also starts a countdown timer in your brain to produce melatonin later that night. So you're literally setting yourself up for a great night's sleep just by getting some sun in the morning. Okay, so your morning is anchored. Fantastic. But what happens when stress just smacks you in the face in the middle of the day? You know, that infuriating email, getting stuck in traffic. For that, you need an emergency brake. And this next tool is the fastest way known to science to calm your system down like right now. This little miracle is called the physiological sigh. Let's break it down. You take a sharp inhale through your nose, and then before you let it out, you sneak in another little sip of air on top. It'll feel like you're filling your lungs up to the absolute brim. Then you just let it all out with a long, slow, controlled exhale through your mouth. Seriously, just 3 to 5 of these can completely change how you feel. So what's actually going on inside your body? A normal breath is fine, but when we get stressed, these tiny little air sacs in our lungs, they're called alveoli, they can actually collapse on themselves. That weird double inhale, that second sip of air, forces them to pop back open. This massively increases the surface area in your lungs, which lets you offload a bunch of carbon dioxide really fast. And it turns out that CO2 buildup is a major trigger for anxiety. And the results of all that? Getting rid of that CO2 so quickly, combined with that long exhale, sends a direct signal to your brain to slam the brakes on the fight or flight response. You are literally, manually flipping a switch in your nervous system from stressed out to chilled out. It's not just in your head, it's a full-body physiological reset. Now let's tackle the monster we all know and hate, the afternoon slump. You know, your focus is shot, your energy is totally bailed on you, and that third cup of coffee is calling your name. Well, there's a much better way to recharge that actually restores your brain without wrecking your sleep later. It's called NSDR, which stands for non-sleep deep rest. It's a term that was coined by Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman. And let's be clear, this is not a nap. You stay awake, you stay conscious, but you guide your body into the state of super deep relaxation that is just incredibly restorative. And here's how easy it is to do. Find a quiet spot, lie down for about 10 to 20 minutes, and pull up a guided NSDR or Yoga Nidra script online. There are tons of free ones on YouTube. Your only job is to just listen to the voice and follow along. It's basically effortless, but the payoff is huge. So what's the magic going on in your brain? Well, NSDR quiets down that fight or flight nervous system. It helps bring down any cortisol that's built up during the day. And this is the key for that afternoon slump. It actually helps replenish your brain's levels of dopamine. And that's why you come out of a 20-minute session feeling not just rested, but clear, focused, and ready to go again. So the first 3 tools we talked about are for managing your stress in the moment, right? They're your real-time toolkit. This 4th tool is different. This one is all about building a more resilient system from the ground up, so you become less reactive to stress in the first place.
We're talking about adaptogens. These are this really cool class of herbs that don't just target one specific problem. Instead, what they do is help your body's entire stress response system get more flexible and efficient. They help you get back to a state of balance, or what scientists call homeostasis.
Let's take ashwagandha. It's one of the most well-studied ones. Think of it like a smart thermostat for your stress. If your cortisol is all jacked up after a crazy day, studies show it can help bring those levels down. But on the flip side, if you're feeling totally wiped out and fatigued, it can help restore your energy. See? It helps your body adapt to whatever life is throwing at it. Okay, now this is incredibly important, and I really can't say this enough. Even though these are natural herbs, you should always, always, always talk to your doctor before you start taking any new supplement. You just have to make sure it's the right choice for you and your body. So there you have it, 4 really powerful, science-backed tools, and they're not just a random collection of tips, right? They actually form a complete toolkit you can use to navigate your entire day from the moment that alarm goes off until your head hits the pillow. Let's do a quick recap. You anchor your day with morning sunlight. You hit that instant reset button anytime you need it with the physiological sigh. You recharge your brain with NSDR. And you build that deep, long-term resilience with adaptogens, of course, with your doctor's okay. This is your personal toolkit for mastering your state. You see, you're not just a passenger on this roller coaster of stress and energy anymore. You get to be the conductor. The science is solid, the tools are simple, and the power to completely change your day is quite literally right in your hands. So the only real question left is, how are you going to start mastering your rhythm tomorrow?